Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander, Director of Sales for Bona Adhesives, and you are?
Pretty pissed off right now. That's who I am.
Yeah, you are. What's with the anger, man?
Rob Johnson from the Bona Training.
There we go. How we doing, Rob?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I am.
You had a couple of cocktails?
No.
Oh, really?
No,
Okay.
sir. Oh.
Hope you're not driving there, Sparky.
No, I'm just fine.
Okay.
I have to. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the training schools that you have, all the stuff that you're doing, right?
Oh my. Yeah. Yes. My gosh. Yeah. I'm not supposed to say God anymore. Everything's supposed to be gosh.
You say whatever you want, my man.
Okay. Did you just say my fan or my man?
I thought you were.
I think you said my fan. Like I'm a fan of yours.
Yeah, it kind of came out that way. I just assumed.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Did Chris call this one? Absolutely.
The ego.
Yeah.
Out of control.
Exactly.
I have to say something, Rob.
Oh, let's hear it.
You looked so damn good last week. I was so impressed by you. I tell you something. You did a power move last week. Don't think I didn't notice it. We had a sales meeting last week when nobody cares, but just going to say, Rob, usually, you're in jeans and tennis shoes because you're on the floor. You're working on the floor.
No. Never tennis shoes. Always
Really? Okay.
my boots. Red Wing
my
boot.
bad. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
But always in.
You need a good boot, man.
Yep, always in jeans. And yesterday you showed up in a beautiful black suit, and you went up there and gave a presentation in front of everybody. And I thought, look at that son of a gun. Look how, you know what? You can never pigeonhole Rob. He looked good, man. Your presentation was fantastic.
Thank you.
You did a fantastic job. So
why don't you tell everybody what you said to me in the morning, though, at the breakfast line when you saw me in my suit?
Can't remember what I said.
You can't remember. He walked up to me, tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me, sir. What side does the family deceased sit on?"
Yeah, that's right. You did look a little bit like a funeral director. The black suit.
Black suit.
Okay. Your wife isn't there, is she?
No, I'm in a hotel.
Oh, you are in a hotel. Okay, me too. Okay. I am. Yeah, you see how dark it is?
Yeah, I know. It looks different.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I had to make my bed because you can see the bed in the background when I first got on.
The bed.
I was like, geez, it was all undone. So I had to make my bed in the hotel.
I absolutely destroy a bed. It looks like the bed has been every night when I sleep. It looks like the bed has been in a tornado.
Like you've been fighting ninjas.
You know what? I had a dream last night.
Can't wait to hear this.
I had a dream that I had a coyote for a pet, and the coyote kept biting me, and I was scared to death of it. But it was my pet. What the hell is the matter with me? There must be something there. There must be a reason to have the dreams like that. Like it was a wild-looking, crazy-looking coyote, but he was my pet. And he kept biting me, like aggressively. And I remember the teeth on that thing, man. It was like huge teeth. And I'm thinking, what the hell's the matter with this coyote, man? I'm trying to be nice to it. I'm thinking you were the coyote subconsciously. Yeah. All right, let's talk about training.
I hope not.
I don't know.
I really hope not.
All right.
Let's talk about training.
Yeah.
Well, something that we went over at the sales meeting, and a few years ago, we were at another sales meeting, and some of the territory managers said, boy, I wish we had more than just our official 2-day and 3-day bonus schools. So, Wayne, at Bona Training, we listen.
Damn right you do.
Yeah, damn right we do. Do you know how many schools we have done? Different types of schools we've done in the past, probably 10 months.
I'm going to guess 14.
I'm never giving you the answers again. 14.
No way.
That's insane, isn't it?
14 different types of schools.
14 different types of schools.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
The addition of Dittmer, Michael Dittmer. I always call him Dittmer. I don't know why. He calls me Mr. Johnson, and I just call him Dittmer.
Yeah, no respect.
None.
Yeah.
But the guy's he's a master. He's a master craftsman. He really is.
You know, you're such a maniac that during your speech, I noticed you both went up to the front to speak, and all he wanted to do was speak for a few minutes, and you couldn't take the limelight away from you. You got mad.
Look, you saw the jacket. You saw the suit.
Yeah.
Okay. And Dittmer started rolling. That's, I've had talks with Mike about that before.
There could be only one Elvis Presley in the room.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Why did you? Wow.
You get your warm-up act, and then you got the act.
Mm.
The first time Mike and I did a class together, I said, just, do a short intro. Everybody does an introduction, whether you're a student or an instructor. Everybody gives, just a little bit of how long you've been doing it, what you do, that kind of thing. Well, about 20 minutes into his, I'm like, all right, Mike,
that's enough.
You're good. We need to talk this out, okay? I remember when you used to be able to do my introduction.
Yes, I heard it so many times.
Word for word, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw Dittmer getting on the roll at the sales meeting, and that's when I kind of stepped back, took a look at him, and said, hey. All eyes are on me.
I didn't put this suit on this morning, and I didn't come up here to everybody look at you.
Did you see what I was wearing the first day?
No.
I had khaki pants on, striped button-down collar, blue blazer, sport coat. Okay. You didn't even notice I was wearing a sport coat the first day?
No, not everybody is, it's not all about you with everybody. For you.
I kind of think it is.
Okay.
If I'm putting a suit on or a sport jacket.
You caught my eye with the suit.
Literally, if I tuck my shirt in and walk through the house and the kids are there, they're like, why are you so dressed up? Where are you going? I just tucked in my shirt. That's all. So I'll give you a little behind the scenes. So if you notice, that day I was wearing brown shoes with the khakis.
Okay.
And the next day I was wearing my black wingtips. Okay.
Okay.
Now I had to write all this down on my notes on the phone.
What to wear?
Yeah. So Pauline's sitting there as we're going through the clothes, and she's like, all right, the brown shoes go with this and that jacket and this shirt. The black shoes go with this suit, the white, and then the third day, the dress jeans go with this and that and the vet. And I'm thinking, I am never. So I'll show you the notes on my phone. I had to write down what I was going to wear every day.
Oh my God.
Just so I got it right.
Well, you pulled it off. You look like Marlon Brando up there.
Marlon Brando, right before he died, Marlon Brando. All right, let's get it back to this.
Thank you. All right.
So, all right. We got 14 schools. We got 14 different types of schools. We got our 2 official Bona 2-day and 3 days. Okay. We want everybody to stay tuned because we're going to have a whole new way to sign up for these classes. Because a lot of these classes, these specialty type classes we've been doing, they've been, in different territories. Like our RICO class, we did one in Toronto and we did one in Nashville. and they were huge successes. And Jeremiah was talking to Darren about it, and so Darren said, "Geez, Darren's a TM up there in Toronto," so he said, "Geez, I'd like to do that too." Okay, so one of the things about having so many classes is trying to advertise. You know what I mean? Get the word out on. So it's not so much word of mouth, but we have a new program coming out that people will be able to go online and check out all the different types of schools. Now, our main school, of course, will always have a date and a place. But all of these kind of 1, 2, invitate all these crazy schools, these specialty schools, we want people to sign up for it so we know where the interest is and where we can do the classes and things like that. So it's not going to have a specific date, but we'll get right back to you as soon as we get some people signed up for different classes, and then we know where and how we're going to have them and things like that.
Okay, you're starting to bore me. Tell me what some of the other classes are.
I told Chris before the show, I go, I'm so tired. And he goes, don't worry, Wayne will piss you off and it will wake you right up. Man.
Really?
Yeah. You know what the thing was? I think I spoke for 3 minutes and you didn't get to say anything.
It's a long time.
That's for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's an eternity.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are some of these classes?
Some of the classes. We're doing, we do a sport class. That sport class is anywhere from 2 to 3 days, where we really focus on a lot of coloring, a lot of the colors, a lot of tandem pulling. It's really working on the Bona glaze, things like that, some advanced coloring techniques, how to get it down on the floor, of course, maintenance. The other thing that's been crazy about the sports school is how much interest there is in the power drive.
Wow.
For the sport. I mean, for a sport guy, power drive is the stand-up edger, the go-to stand-up edger.
You said tandem pulling. Have you done a lot of tandem pulling?
Yeah, actually I have tandem pulling. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's way over your head. I don't know if I could even explain it to you.
Probably not.
Tandem T-bar pulling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Power scrubber is really.
Let's get back to the sports school.
Well, I am, but you said power scrubber in the sports. That's crossed over into the sport world.
No. I said power drive.
Oh, I meant power drive.
Come on, man, wake up.
I meant power drive. That's crossed over into. Well, your note says power scrubber, knucklehead.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does. Power scrubber operation. It's in your notes.
Well, I wasn't talking about the power scrubber. I said there's a lot of interest in the power drive. So
the power drive has crossed over into the sport world.
Yes.
So I totally see that. So they don't have to be on their knees edging that whole.
Well, everybody thinks, oh, a gym is just a big square. Well, there's doorways and there's hallways and there's rooms and storage rooms. There's all sorts of little places that need sanding too. Yep. So power drive is perfect for them. The other thing with that school is, sooner or later, I know we're going to have Bill Price on the show someday, but we get that new product out. Elite, and the Elite finish comes in satin and gloss, which is huge, in the sport world. I mean, to have this satin finish out, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that we are the first company to have an MFMA approved satin finish where everything is gloss in the sport world. Now, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but we got it.
That's interesting. That would be a great. You cover a lot in that class. I'm looking at tinting and glazing, all kinds of stuff in this class. That's actually very interesting to me. I so missed I missed on gym contractors. I missed altogether. I really truly thought that, well, it's just a gym. I mean, really who owns it, and do they, how much really, but man, those guys, they are as well, let's face it, you got a maple floor, which is difficult in itself to sand and finish, shows everything. Then you put in gloss finish on it, except for in your case, say we can do the satin on it, which is a huge breakthrough. But that is a recipe for seeing problems in screen bite and all kinds of stuff from a mile away. I had no idea, and how these guys are some incredible craftsmen. They really are.
The graphics that you see on gyms now are
Unreal.
everything. I mean, it could be a combination of Bona glaze, paints, stains, tinting with chroma, all on the same job.
Unreal.
It's
Unreal what's
just
out there. Yeah.
shadowing. And I mean, just, like I said before, I don't watch basketball games. I watch basketball courts now. It's amazing. It's a 5,000-foot mural that these guys are making. It's just incredible.
If you were in the gym floor business and let's say you were in prison the last 10 years and you got out and you went back to doing gym floors, it's a whole different world. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't be stranded on an island or something like that. You got to be in prison. 10 years in the joint.
Well, how else would you be completely removed from it?
I did a gym in a prison one time, Pennsylvania.
No kidding.
Yeah. Have you ever been in prison?
Not prison. No.
Never convicted.
Never been in prison. No.
Let me tell you, it is not a happy place.
I can't imagine. Were you there with inmates?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There was a gym that we were doing and a stage, and there was guards and everything. But I mean, it wasn't, I think it was a medium security. I think it was called Dallas. I think it was called Dallas State Prison in Pennsylvania. But the thing I couldn't get over was the heat. It was the middle of the summer when we were there. And inside of this gym was like a roasting. I mean, just unbelievable.
I couldn't sleep in an environment like that.
And all the inmates have to wear long pants and long sleeve shirts.
I could do that part. Because
so I said to one of the guards, is it always this hot here? You guys don't have air conditioning or something? And the guard starts laughing. He goes, "This is a prison."
Wow.
And I was like, all right.
You mean
but it keeps everybody nice and slow. You're just dying of heat.
Wow.
I was a little surprised. I thought prisons were different, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This was like old school type.
Wow, man.
It was.
I don't know how you sleep at night without air conditioning in the summer like that. I couldn't. That would be. I'd have a problem with that. That would be my worst problem. I got to have air conditioning, man. I can't, and I have to have 3 pillows. I really do. I don't want to make a big deal with Warden, but
all right. Look, I know I got to do my time like everybody else, but I'm going to need pillows, extra
3
pillows. So I'm going to need some AC.
One between the legs,
sleep like this.
Yeah. I can't have my knees touch. My knees hurt if I got to have a pillow between my knees. I got to have one.
Let's not get too personal here.
No. Okay, that would be a problem. All right, well, your next school, advanced sanding and coating, 2 to 3 days. Advanced sanding and coating. Okay.
Right. So the advanced sanding and coating, that was one of the things that a lot of people were like, geez, there's always so many beginners at the 3-day school. Mm-hmm. We need to do something more advanced. And then in walks Dittmer.
Wow.
Okay. Yep. Dittmer runs around to all the training centers, and he's putting in parquet and herringbone. And so it just turned out to be a natural hey,
Yeah.
now we can do some advanced sanding, you know?
Yeah. If you haven't been to class and seen Rob Johnson and Mike Dittmer and their years and years and years of experience and what they bring to the table is freaking incredible. Yeah, I really truly mean that. And I think the world of you. And I can't say enough about Michael Dittmer. He's one of the best human beings I've ever met. Not to mention a great floor man, but man, there is so much experience and passion that goes into these classes. If you haven't been to one of these schools and met these two guys, man, it's just a must. I love going to your guys' classes anytime I get a chance. Maybe once or twice a year now, I get to go and sit in for a day or so. I can't give you any more than time than that. You know how important I am, Rob.
I think you like Dittmer better than me.
I don't like Dittmer. No, I do not
I think
like
you
Dittmer
do.
better.
Yeah,
no,
I can tell.
no,
Yeah.
you both. No,
Look,
I don't.
I've been there when the three of us are in the room together, and it's like I feel like the third wheel. Like,
Everybody loves Dittmer.
Looks like I wasn't supposed to be on this date.
No, that's not true. Not true at all.
No, but you know what I love about the way Dittmer teaches? Some people, when they instruct, they just have people standing around watching them do stuff, right? So Dittmer goes through this whole thing in New Jersey and draws the lines out and how to mark up your lines and measure and all that stuff on the layout for a herringbone.
Mm-hmm.
And then he grabs a power drive and power drives everything off that he had just done. And I'm like, Mike, what are you doing? He goes, I'm not going to do it. He goes, I just showed them how to do it. They're going to do it.
Very nice.
And I was like, that's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
Right?
You put your hands on it.
Yes.
Yeah. You can watch somebody else. You can listen to somebody else, but until you put your hands on it yourself, that's how you learn.
Yeah. Now, see, I do it. I just make people do it because I'm lazy. That's all.
Well,
I've done it enough. All right.
Yeah.
I'll make a couple of passes. It's just seen me edging today, showing people how to edge. I was like, hey, I haven't done this much edging in months. Take this away from me. Another great school is the Power Drive School.
Yes.
The Power Drive class, anybody who owns a Power Drive and isn't sure of it, I swear I did it. I think I came up with the Power Drive class because one guy called me and said, I hate this Power Drive. It sucks. It doesn't work.
Mm.
And I'm like, all right, let's see what's happening here. Okay. Yeah. And with that Power Drive school, we show you how to use everything, how to use the wire brushes for wire brush floors. We show you how to use the steel plates. We also show you how to, buff stain on them, use it as a buffer, use it as a sander. We just showed everything. Proper use of the weights, when to have 2 weights on, when to have 1, all that stuff, when to have no weights on. Mm-hmm. By the time I was done, the guy called me a week later and he's like, this is the best machine I've ever run in my life. And he was talking about a couple other machines that he had. Yeah. And he's like, I'm putting them up for sale. He goes, sometimes people watch the wrong videos when they're online.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They get the wrong opinions and stuff like that. Just if you're going to watch a video, try to make sure it's a Todd Schutte video. The Bona YouTube channel or, the Fuse platform, something like that. Because there's a lot of people out there making videos that are just not using it correctly. Are you okay?
Yeah. What? I yawn one time. You yawn all the time.
Oh, that's funny. So the Power Drive School, it's one day, but if you're wondering about your Power Drive or, you're thinking of getting one, give us a call, jump on this thing because it'll just blow you away.
Yeah.
Power Scrubber class. We've had so many people that buy a power scrubber and they're not sure what to do with it. And the great part about this class is we tell people this is a great class if you own a power scrubber too. It's not like, yeah, if you're in the market, sure, of course, this is a great class for you. But if you own one, if you come to this class, you're going to get a lot of different ideas from people on what they're doing with the power scrubber.
You know something?
Whether it's cleaning in between coats, job site cleanup, I mean, deep cleans. What was that
Yeah.
for?
Just to see if my muscles, see if I still got it. Um, you know something? If you own a retail store, how do you not have a power dry or power scrubber? When I used to demo the power scrubbers, I'd go to retail stores and I would run it over an area of the showroom, sometimes tile, by the way, that they thought was clean. And I would just do like a 45-degree pass, one up and one back. And they'd stand back and go, "Holy smokes, are you kidding me?" Like
Yeah.
they got so used to the floor being dirty after all these years, even though they would take a mop and clean it with a mop and the cleaning stuff, nothing will scrub that floor, and it's a $50 word, extract the contaminants off the floor like the power scrubber. And what a difference it makes. Unfortunately, when I did that, they go, "Oh my God, it's incredible." But then they're like, "Well, you can't leave it like that." But now I have to go do the whole floor, which is fine. But if you own a retail store, you have all these the customer base that you've had over the years that they trust you. You've already been in their home. This is a no-brainer, man. And things are kind of slow right now for some people. It's a bit of a strange year. What a great income source, man, to do this. And the nice thing about it, I'll tell you, I've said that I won't mention the name of them, but one of the biggest cleaning companies in the world, well, certainly in America. I don't know if they're one or two, but they were one of the biggest cleaning companies in the world. They clean the carpets, the drapes, the tile, and everything. They started using this system, and it actually broke my heart for two reasons. One is that this should be our work. This is the easy stuff. We install the floors, we sand the floors, we finish the floors, we did all the hard work. They would come in and they couldn't tell you what species of wood they were standing on. They couldn't tell you if it was walnut or maple or cherry or whatever they were standing on. They had no idea. That was number one. You know, the second thing is how much money they were charging. Like we would have to hook up 220 power to a machine for the machine, bring the 220-pound machine in and start that machine up to get the money that they were charging for recoats. And they said, "Are we charging enough money?" And I was like, "You got to be kidding me. I mean, you have no idea." And they were getting it. You know what I mean? And I'll go a step further. They said, "How do we charge for this?" I said, "Well, a lot of guys charge by the square foot. So you measure the length by the width." And they go, No. Our guys don't have that kind of time. Well, they're not going to carry tape measures. They probably won't even be able to do the math and everything. So we're going to do it like this. This is God's truth. We're going to do it like this. We're going to go big, small, medium. For the small, we charge this. For the big, we charge that. And for the medium, we charge this. And that's how they price the jobs.
Oh my
and they were
gosh.
they were getting them. And it truly broke my heart because I'm thinking, this is our work, man. This is our business. This is our world. But they saw the value and they were killing it. So there you go.
Absolutely.
What other classes, my friend?
So you get that power scrubber class. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's just a day. We can do those power scrubber classes in a day. And what I think too, what we've been trying to do this year, especially with Chroma, is if we're doing a 2-day school, we're going to stay an extra day and then do like a Chroma school. So we've been piggybacking some stuff. The Recode school, that's I think we're going to see a lot more of that next year because those Recode schools, we've all run into the Murphy's Oil Soap thing. Sooner or later, we've all been bit by that bug. Murphy's Oil Soap, paste wax, all this stuff. So what we do is me and whatever TM is going to assist in that school, we go in the day before the class starts and we coat everything with Bona polish, Murphy's Oil Soap, you name whatever stuff we can find. Okay, Darren up in Toronto. I don't know where he was coming up with some of this orange glow kill coating. You name it, we code it. And I will say this, I think I said it on the show before. I get it now. I could never understand why my sister-in-law loved Mop and Glow. And then we came in the next day after we had done the Murphy's Oil and all that stuff. Oh my gosh. If you follow the directions, all this stuff looked great. Smelled great, looked great. I was blown away. The Bona polish looked amazing. It's when you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and now sooner or later you got to get it off. So that's what we do at that recode school. They show you the different recode systems, the prep recode, the guaranteed recode system, and how to remove all of these, like you would say in a past show, bond breakers.
Yeah. You listened.
How could I not?
Yeah. There you go. Good stuff, man. That's another great class, because it's a practical class and it's a real life class, and we run across, and again, it's you're going to at some point in your career you're going to run across one of these obstacles, and then what they are, what you call obstacles are and challenges are money making opportunities, and so there you go.
Absolutely.
I know. Now I want to ask you. The stencil school, the epoxy inlay school that you did.
Not me.
No?
That's all Mr. Dittmer.
No kidding.
Yeah. Those 4 final schools there, specialty install class, that's usually the herringbone. Okay. Mm-hmm. The stencil school, he's done some stenciling with people. Mm-hmm. He did a couple of classes with that. The epoxy inlay, I was shocked that you weren't in on that. You're an epoxy inlay guy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he did a couple of make your own parquet. It was called parquet manufacturing, but it was make and install your own parquet. So, who would ever think that you and I would be, who would ever think we'd ever have a podcast?
That's right.
Doing this many shows.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, you remember where we came from. Would you ever think that we'd be talking about all these Bona install classes?
I thought I would.
You see?
No.
You see?
I'm sorry, Rob.
You see how I just feed them to you?
No.
Huh?
You know something?
I just lay it over to you, and all you got to do is put it in the open net. That's all you got to do. Don't miss the open net. I feed them to you.
Michael Dittmer and I did a inlay, not an inlay, a stencil, like an entryway, like a standard entryway, and using stencils, and it looked like $1 million. Like you would pay a fortune for that floor. It was stunning, and we had $100 in material, maybe $150 in material. And it took us about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours to do all the stenciling, and it was stunning.
Really?
And you could do this to an entryway, and it would just blow people's mind. And it's amazing. You could even my brothers and I did a stencil one time that we stenciled it, but then we abraded a lot of it, not completely off, but like a distressed kind of look behind. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was gorgeous. So there's a lot of different ways, and I love that you guys are doing these type of schools to kind of show what's a possibility out there. And this stencil class, the epoxy class, I think are incredible. I mean, it's just, even if it's just a little bit of epoxy, just a little bit of stuff here and there, oh my gosh, you could blow people away with what you can do with epoxy.
Do you have that do you have a picture of that stencil that you did?
I do.
I'd like to see that.
I'll send it to you.
Or send it to me, and then put it up on the show too.
I'll have Chris do
that. I would like to see that.
Okay.
I mean, because when you boil all this down, like you said, times are a little slow right now. So the more that you can do,
Yeah.
the more that you can attack and the more knowledge you have about,
Yep.
these inlays and the stencils. I mean, the stencil thing just sounds like pretty good money. Sounds the way you're talking about it.
Not only that, so here's what it looks as good as if you've done an inlay. And you know how much time it takes you to do an inlay. I mean, this the amount of money, but the material and all this, the scroll sawing, all the stuff that goes into an inlay. And I don't know if it looked any better than just what we did with the stencil. The stencil looked incredible. And it's so easy to do. You know what I mean? And we use 3 different stain colors. There's a few tricks to it, but it's very doable. And I think, you could turn an ordinary entryway or hallway, dining room into something extraordinary. So
as extraordinary as maybe somebody's floor of the year.
Oh man, that's
there it is.
Hang on a second, I hear it. What?
There it is. It's coming in.
Just
there you go.
Just as strong as ever. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Rob. Yeah. No, to answer your question, no. All right. Well, look, that's a taste of all the schools that Bona has. A lot of experience, a lot of great schools across the country. Go to the website and check out what the options are. And
don't go yet.
Okay.
Don't go yet. It's not up and running yet, but it's coming. And as soon as it is up and running, we'll let everybody know. But
yep.
Coming attractions for 2025, we are just gonna blow the industry away.
Hey, not only that, like we had one in Nashville, a school recently, and it's not only that we have the schools, but man, getting together with the guys afterwards, going downtown Broadway, and spending time with each other and having a fun night out at a bar or something like that, and listen to music and just the brotherhood that we have is so much damn fun. That yes, there's a lot to learn in the schools and all that kind of stuff, but the camaraderie of getting together with your peers and stuff like that, and networking with everybody is just so fun, man. It just makes the trade worthwhile. And your fishing buddy doesn't understand what you do. Your best friend that delivers mail or works in an office doesn't understand what you do. Your in-laws don't understand exactly how hard it is and what you do and the passion you have for it. But when you get together with other floor guys, we know, you know what I mean? Your buddies know in the floor business what you go through and what drives you and all the little things that make this trade special. So getting together with them is also makes the classes worthwhile. So
I felt, it's not often I feel bad for you. How's your wrist?
It's still messed up, man. It's from my shoulder all the way down to my wrist is messed up on my right side. You know why? Yeah, so whatever. I'll get over it.
Well, Wayne, everybody. Wayne, there he is. I see him. As soon as I get to Nashville, there's Wayne. I'm like, oh, right. Well, I know why he's here. This is it.
Yeah.
This is right in his wheelhouse. Okay. An advanced sanding, coating school, and poor bastard could barely raise your hand. You could not move your hand. And I could just see that.
I tried.
We had to we were begging him to go to the doctors because the pain he was in was, I could tell just by looking at you. But I think half of the pain was you couldn't play.
I couldn't get in the game. I tried.
You couldn't get in the game. You were benched.
Yep. It hurt.
Benched.
All right, everybody. That's it. Thank you, Rob, for all the info, and thank you everybody for listening to the podcast. And please do stay tuned for another episode. This is Wayne and Rob. All right, what I do wrong? This has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode. Something like that.